Hey everyone, it's me Pratima and this is the new Momentum True Wireless 4 earbuds from Sennheiser. It has just launched in India for 20,000 rupees or some $300 in the US, which is definitely not cheap. But you know what? After using it for about a week or so, the Momentum 4 is seriously, seriously tempting me to move away from my current daily driver, the Apple Airpods Pro 2. So let's talk about that. Okay, the audio quality is where things get super interesting here, although the design is equally worth talking about here. I feel like Sennheiser just went with the form follows function philosophy when designing these earbuds instead of trying to stand out too hard. And looking at these earbuds and the charging case, it's easy to be intimidated at first, to be honest. It's a chunk monster of a case, which is definitely not something I would want to carry around in my pant pocket, but the Momentum 4 earns a solid A as far as the fit and comfort are concerned. Not the A+ tier as my AirPods Pro, but close enough. I've always had a thing for earbuds that don't stick out of my ears like the AirPods do, so that's a plus. And with the right set of silicone tips and the little ear fins that go on top, I had zero trouble putting these on for hours at a time too. Anyways, these earbuds keep up in terms of weather sealing as well thanks to IP54 dust and splash resistance. However, my AirPods Pro's case comes with IP54 rating too, while there's also a dedicated chip and a built-in speaker so that you can find it more easily in case you happen to misplace it. As for the controls, the Momentum 4's controls are pretty easy to get used to. There's some muscle memory involved if you want to be able to control every single thing from media playback to volume levels and noise cancellation from these earbuds themselves, but hands-free control is totally possible with these. Whereas being able to connect two devices at once and seamlessly switching between them works excellently here. The AirPods Pro also can do something similar, but that's within Apple's ecosystem only. Battery life on the Momentum 4 is great as well. Sennheiser now promises 7 hours of playback with noise cancellation on or half an hour more with ANC turned off, and this thing has been comfortably lasting me 7 hours on average, which is like a couple of hours more than what the AirPods Pro manage. And then it's got all the usual stuff like quick charging, wireless charging, and trickle charging to protect battery health too, but I feel like the Momentum 4 could have lasted me even longer if I didn't need to keep the volume to such high levels most of the time. And that brings me to one of my complaints about these earbuds. Their peak loudness is just a little low than what I prefer, especially when I'm outside on a crowded street where there is a lot of ambient noise. To be fair, Sennheiser's noise cancellation does a nice job of cutting out most of the consistent noises around me. I have the AC on in my office all the times, and the HVAC noise is all but silent when I am wearing these earbuds. While the sound of my colleagues typing, talking, arguing in the background and all that is shut down significantly as well. The AirPods Pro's ANC is almost evenly matched against low frequency noises here, but I found the Momentum 4 to be slightly better when it comes to sharp high frequency noises like someone whistling, a fire alarm, the clinking sound of wine glasses, or that default notification ringtone on Messenger. And that's maybe because of the incredible passive noise isolation from the way the Momentum 4 sits on my ears actually. Although this also means that there is that damp blanketed sensation when ANC is turned on and you're somewhere fairly quiet. I am not the biggest fan of Sennheiser's adaptive approach to noise cancellation either, where it's constantly trying to keep up with the abrupt changes in ambient noises. Alright, I have tested dozens of flagship earbuds at this point, and transparency mode is the one thing none of them have been able to beat the 2nd gen AirPods Pro yet, and I am sad to say that the Momentum 4 is another one of those expensive earbuds that tries but ultimately fails to outclass the AirPods Pro in this contest. I'm not saying that these things sound weird, unnatural, or anything here with transparency mode enabled. It's just that the AirPods does it better, much better actually. There's no soft hissing noise like on the Momentum 4, whereas it also has a few standout transparency mode features that Sennheiser misses out on. Like the conversation awareness, for example, which automatically lowers the volume of whatever's playing when I start talking, or adaptive transparency mode that protects my ears from sudden harmful loud noises. And if you're a fan of surround sound spatial audio thing, then Sennheiser's latest earbuds do not support spatial audio. at all. I have never really liked or cared for such head tracking tech, to be honest, so all I care about is how these earbuds sound without all the funky features. And in this regard, last year's Sennheiser Momentum 3 was already my favorite pair of earbuds as far as the sound quality is concerned, and I'm actually glad to see that Sennheiser has not tried to mess with what already works. The Momentum 4s apparently have a bit more fine-tuned trebles, but that's about it. And it really just comes down to the Soundstage, the spatial layering, and the bass response, where the Momentum 4 comfortably outclasses the AirPods Pro, which makes listening to all sorts of music very pleasant on these earbuds. I know Sennheiser is mostly known for its audiophile grade headphones that have neutral tuning with not a lot going on in the lower frequency region, but the Momentum 4s has positively spoiled me with some of the most faithful, pleasant bass response I've heard from a pair of wireless earbuds, both in terms of bass I hear and the bass I feel, aka sub bass. In songs like Weird Fishes by Radiohead, for example, that sense of airiness from the kick drum sounds so good on the Momentum 4, whereas the AirPods Pro is somewhat bland in terms of bass altogether. This is something that I've noticed even better when listening to hip-hop tracks like Kendrick Lamar's Mad City, where the impact of bass drop is lost on the AirPods. Although, let me tell you that there's definitely some under-emphasis in the mid-range section with these earbuds, which means if your Spotify's playlist mostly consists of acoustic, folk, blues, or any other genres of music that don't have a lot of bass instruments in their mix, it's actually the AirPods Pro that's going to end up sounding better. All this is with their default factory tuning, by the way, not that Apple lets you create a custom EQ in the first place, but thankfully there are a couple of options with the Momentum 4. I first tried the sound personalization thing, which is supposed to tune these earbuds based on my hearing ability, but it ended up doing the exact opposite of what I wanted, with the mid sounding even more hollow. So I ended up boosting the 1 kHz frequency region by around 1.5 decibels to make the vocals and all that more pleasant to listen to. Although I've got to say that Sennheiser's 5-band equalizer feels quite restrictive in terms of personalizing the audio quality. Okay, moving on, lossless audio was also something that I was really excited to test on the Momentum 4 since it supports aptX lossless codec, but the problem is only a handful of phones from Vivo, iQOO, Nubia, Sony, and Asus support this high-res codec. There's also a lot to talk about how the Momentum 4 is future-proof with support for features like Auracast and LC3 codec. So Auracast is basically this audio broadcast thing where a single source can share audio to multiple devices at once, whereas LC3 codec mostly has to do with energy efficiency and also better audio quality compared to the default SBC codec. Finally, as for the microphone quality, Sennheiser has gone with the same triple mic array this time as well, and I am still not that impressed.
It doesn't sound all too bad in ideal conditions like the one I am in right now, but the loudness and clarity of my voice is better from the AirPods Pro anyway. And you can probably already tell how well these two can handle phone calls when you're somewhere noisy.
Okay, let's wrap up things now. So the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 4 is one of those rare earbuds that has a special place in my heart and also my ears. I always prioritize the sound quality more than anything when evaluating any audio product, and the Momentum 4 is almost a perfect 10 on 10 product in that regard. This is actually the best sounding pair of earbuds I have ever used, and like I said at the very beginning, I am super tempted to sell my AirPods Pro 2 for this thing. It also has a nice design, great noise cancellation, and excellent battery life. Well, yes, there are definitely a ton of ecosystem benefits on the AirPods that Sennheiser simply can't compete with, but its superior sound sits above them all. And one more thing, if you're looking for the absolute value, the last year's Momentum 3 is time and again available at great deals, and lately I've been seeing it go for as low as 13,000 rupees in India or some $180 in the US, and for that price you can go with the Momentum 3 instead, since you're not missing out on a lot. So everybody, that was all for my full and detailed review of the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 4. If you had around 20,000 Indian rupees, which one would you go for? Do let me know in the comments below. Saying this, I'm Pratima. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. I'll see you in the next video.